There are a few individuals, as well as dozens of people, and potentially hundreds or even thousands. Some knights and barons with titles also sought refuge with him. The population of Greystone Village has started to increase significantly, surpassing 8,000 in under 2 weeks. One step away from tens of thousands. This led Raymond and the others to sense that something was amiss. The refugee phenomenon typically occurs during severe cold winters, however, the current influx of refugees is significant. This appears to be somewhat unusual. After thorough investigation, they ultimately discovered the situation. Border war. Hear insights from Matt German regarding the findings, as Raymond expressed some surprise. Yes, the specific reason is unknown, but it occurred 2 months ago, said Matt German. The Derek Kingdom in the north has dispatched troops to assault the crucial city on our northern border, Ream City. This has led to the destruction and burning of several small fiefdoms nearby, resulting in a significant influx of refugees. Most of the refugees who have arrived recently are from that region, Matt German stated with a frown. That concludes our discussion, but what is happening in Derek's kingdom? Just 2 months ago, winter was approaching. A war began at this time. What prompted this action? Raymond was curious. It seemed a more powerful country than the Principality of Lane, however, initiating a war in winter is unwise. It results in a total loss of 1,000 for the enemy and 800 for oneself, effectively leading to self-destruction. Lord, the Derek Kingdom is the most powerful nation in our region. It is one of only 2 kingdoms, and its land area exceeds that of our Principality of Lane by more than 10 times. Moreover, their overall strength is significantly greater than ours. It is rumored that they also possess the legendary Level 9 Celestial Master, Matt German stated with a serious expression. Level 9 Celestial Master? Raymond inquired. He was aware of the classification of professionals below Level 7, Level 1 Trainee, Level 2 Apprentice, Level 3 Fighter, Level 4 Advanced, Level 5 Earth, Level 6 Heaven. Level 7 appears to be a transcendence. Lord, Level 7 professionals are referred to as transcendents, such as Transcend Masters and Transcend Magisters. Level 8 professionals are referred to as Demi. Level 9 professionals are referred to as Celestial. In our Kingdom of Lion, the most powerful expert holds only Level 8. For instance, the Grand Commander of the Royal Guards, Mr. Coin, the most powerful First Legion of our Principality of Lane, is led by General Lake, Commander of the Black Armor Legion, all of whom are Level 8. Matt German continues, Raymond, in fact, your father and I were both members of the 3rd Affiliated Legion under the Black Armor Legion. It was due to his meritorious service in battle that he obtained the title of Baron. I was tired at the time, so I returned with him. As for the reasons for starting the war in winter, there are only a few possibilities: revenge, desperation, or perhaps the need to find something valuable across the border. It should only be these types of situations. Upon hearing this, Raymond also nodded. This may be the most reasonable explanation. After all, when the benefits are significant enough, even in the face of a severe winter, some individuals may be willing to take risks, regardless of potential dangers. This reflects human nature, as well as the cruelty and greed exhibited by those in positions of power. It appears that this should be the case. He nodded. Matt German spoke again, stating, Raymond, if this is indeed the case, we may need to make early plans next time. Perhaps this attack by the Derek Kingdom is merely a routine offensive, but for us, the Principality of Lane, we must do our utmost to defend ourselves. If this war continues beyond the start of spring, I believe there may be new developments. Raymond's eyes widened as he said, Uncle Matt, are you referring to conscription? Yes, it is possible, Matt German affirmed. Conscription is the kingdom's prerogative. We cannot refuse. Otherwise, we will be opposed by the entire country. Raymond rubbed his head and said, this is really troublesome. His current strength is insufficient to combat the state. If we reach that point, he may be compelled to accept it. However, he then realized, this doesn't appear to concern us at this moment, does it? If we discuss his current strength, has it been communicated to the upper echelons of the Principality of Lane? This could potentially pose a significant risk. Because of the level 5 or 6 combat power, this can certainly be utilized as cannon fodder. They must not be aware of it, must they? Externally, his current role should be that of an inconspicuous and unremarkable baron and nobleman. There are certainly many such entities in the Principality of Lane. Such actions are not characteristic of him unless the Derek Kingdom is genuinely pursuing a war to eliminate the nation or intends to destroy the Lion Kingdom and seize a portion of its territory. Otherwise, this war will impact them, making them less stable and less safe. Uncle Matt, it appears we need to maintain a low profile now, Raymond said softly. Matt German also acknowledged and stated, "Yes, it is advisable not to reveal our true strength at this time, although this may prove to be somewhat challenging." Why? Raymond frowned slightly. "We have accepted too many foreign residents this winter. This includes businessmen, skilled professionals, and titled nobility such as barons who have lost their fiefs. To be honest, Raymond, upon reflection, I believe this was a poor decision, as they remain closely connected to the nobility outside. It will be challenging for us to maintain our secrecy. There is even a possibility that information about our location has been leaked, though the likelihood is very low. After all, it is still the cold wave period in February. It is probably unlikely that their people will go outside now. However, regardless of the situation, once winter concludes, these risks will be significantly magnified. Additionally, there is another very concerning matter." "What is it?" Raymond inquired. "How should we address the positioning of those nobles?" Matt German looked at Raymond with a complex expression and remarked, "We can accept your arrangements and ideas, but they may prove to be challenging. If they choose to leave after winter, they will undoubtedly disclose our situation. However, what action should we take if they choose not to leave? Should we revert to the old ways and tolerate them? This presents a very difficult dilemma." Raymond was momentarily taken aback before his expression turned serious. "Uncle Matt, what should my next step be?" He did not think much before. He initially believed that a growing population would be beneficial, however, it now appears that an increase in population may not be advantageous. These esteemed knights, merchants, professionals, and strong individuals are predominantly influential figures. The easiest way is to let them die." Matt German paused and smiled bitterly. "But the price is too high." Raymond. "It is acceptable to eliminate one or two individuals, however, if it is revealed that there has been a mass slaughter of nobles or title holders, it will certainly be considered a capital offense. The risk is exceptionally high. Furthermore, in this situation, it will be challenging for us to discern who among them is genuine and one who truly aligns with us. If you consider everything, this situation is truly unfair to them." Raymond spoke up but then fell silent. This is of no concern to him. What he currently lacks is time. Provided there is sufficient time, he can fully develop an exceptionally powerful Temple Castle army. As long as you can navigate the timeline and gain strength, he is indifferent to the so-called sanctions imposed by the Principality of Lane. Until then, they likely would not take the risk. However, his primary concern is the latter. If they were to eliminate them all in one swift action, it would be unjust to those who have genuinely committed themselves to them. "Lord, I have an idea." At that moment, Nig spoke from behind Raymond. "What idea?" Raymond asked. "Simply eliminate their armed forces," Nig stated calmly. "You only need to issue an order. Private armed forces are not permitted in Greystone Village. Those who have existed previously will be disbanded immediately. Any individual who contravenes this will face immediate execution." "But what if they feign disbandment?" Matt German hesitated. "We can assume that the management of this order is relatively lax, and it is not a concern if it remains intact. In this situation, individuals who are fortunate or have differing opinions will inevitably have shortcomings. We simply need to monitor them discreetly and address the issues at an appropriate time. Additionally, our Templar marksmen and archers are capable of managing this task. There should be no problem," Nig stated. "That's a good idea." Matt German's eyes illuminated. "What is true cannot be false, and what is false cannot be true. Confusing them slightly and creating an illusion will naturally lead to the revelation of their flaws. This is certainly accurate. More importantly, they have a valid justification. It is natural to harm others, and there is no concern about being apprehended." Raymond appeared somewhat unusual. This method was bad. The enforcement of fishing laws is quite inadequate, yet he liked it. "Then it is settled. Uncle Matt, you will arrange for the promulgation of the decree. Niggs, I will assign you the task of supervising them. Is your current military strength still adequate?" Raymond inquired. "That should be sufficient, correct?" Niggs nodded, but then quickly shook his head and remarked, "However, Lord, it would be more convenient if there were additional people." "That's correct." As soon as he said this, Matt German nodded and added, "Raymond, it's February, the cold wave is upon us, and considering we're still in a special period, our troops are barely sufficient. If this period elapses, our current troop levels will be insufficient. There are only slightly more than 100 troops, which is inadequate. Now, it needs to be at least 300 or more. If others find out about our situation in the spring, I believe there will definitely be an influx. A larger population will migrate here. Therefore, Lord Baron, we should recruit troops promptly. Whether they are our former members or new recruits, if they can pass the test, I think we can still place our trust in them. We will arrange for them to undertake various tasks. I understand. Upon hearing this, Raymond nodded and subsequently asked, Uncle Matt, how much magic core do we currently have in storage? Currently, there are 3 level 4 magic cores, 33 level 3 magic cores, 93 level 2 magic cores, and 55 level 1 magic cores, stated Matt German. Why are there so many? Raymond was momentarily taken aback and somewhat surprised. He recalled that when he returned from the northern jungle, there weren't many. All of this is thanks to Alderson, as well as Owens, Merrick, and the others, Matt German stated. Despite the ongoing cold wave in February, they have been independently hunting and foraging for food during this period. Additionally, they have returned with these extra magic cores. Otherwise, I am concerned there may be issues with food availability. What is the issue? Does this indicate that our food reserves are insufficient? Raymond frowned slightly. That is correct, but that is not the issue, Matt German stated while shaking his head. I initially intended to discuss this with you later, but given our current conversation, let's address it now. After a brief pause, his eyes shimmered. Currently, our population has surpassed 8,000. If this trend continues, we will not be able to sustain food supplies for more than a month and a half. By that time, winter should have ended. As long as we do not encounter large-scale refugees in the future, there should not be any significant issues. However, the problem persists here. After the onset of spring, we must address this issue. Food is a necessity, especially for nearly 10,000 individuals, which is a substantial quantity. I understand, Raymond nodded and inquired once more, what was the issue you mentioned earlier? It's about meat and monster meat, said Matt German. Meat? Raymond asked. Yes. Matt German affirmed and explained, for Mr. Alderson and others cannot meet their physical needs through food. They require meat, including that of magic beasts. Fortunately, they did not choose to consume our meat reserves but instead opted to go out hunting to ensure their self-sufficiency. Otherwise, this could likely pose a problem. After hearing this, Raymond started to feel overwhelmed and developed a headache. Lord. It appears quite impressive, and often, it truly is nice and majestic. As this issue persists, the increasing territory and population magnify these problems, leading to greater difficulties and complications. Merely listening to it caused him a headache. But who appointed him as the Lord? That is a blend of pleasure and pain. Uncle Matt, I understand. Let's do this first, Raymond stated. Following this, Matt German and Niggs also resigned and departed. Insufficient troops. Then the only option is to deploy the troops effectively. All issues arise from a lack of sufficient troops. Given this situation, Raymond has chosen not to concern himself further and simply uses them all. Compared to others, he continues to unconditionally trust his army at Haven Castle. There is a distinction between unconditional trust and conditional trust. Thoughtless actions against soldiers are unacceptable. He proceeded directly to the warehouse. Utilize all the stored magic cores to recruit many troops. Recruit. Ding. You have successfully recruited level 2 enhanced troops, 3 Templar marksmen, level 2 ordinary troops, 33 Templar archers, level 1 enhanced troops, 93 Templar halberdiers, level 1 ordinary troops, 55 Templar pikemen. In this situation, his current strength consists of 1 Royal Griffin, 4 Griffins, 13 Templar marksmen, 42 Templar archers, 123 Templar halberdiers, and 194 Templar pikemen. This also enabled their prior military pressure in Greystone Village to stabilize immediately and effectively. Just over 100 troops is insufficient. However, nearly 400 is certainly adequate. On the same day and night, the private arms ban ordinance was enacted, and this, akin to a drop of water falling into a pan of oil, prompted an immediate and intense reaction from some individuals. Filled with anger and resentment. Damn it, damn it. This is truly infuriating. How could he? He actually dares to deprive us of our private military forces. Why? This authority has been granted to us by the principality. We are nobles. He does not possess such qualifications. Absolutely not. No, it is absolutely impossible. I am a distinguished nobleman, a baron of high status. My guard power is mine. He does not have the authority to do this. Everyone, he is provoking me. I intend to locate him. I would like to inquire with him. Why? This is impossible. As night falls in Greystone Village, those minor external nobles, barons, merchants, as well as their vassals, professionals, and influential individuals They have all gathered at this time, their expressions displaying significant displeasure, and they are continuously shouting and cursing to vent their frustration and anger. This is clearly due to the private armed ban order issued by Matt German. From this point forward, all of their private armed forces and guards will be terminated and entirely removed, including those assigned to nobles of their status. It is entirely unacceptable. They have now lost their fiefdoms and their people, remaining dependent on others and living a life that is inferior to that of others, resulting in significant difficulties. What does this mean? Is Baron Raymond crazy? He audaciously chose to deprive them of their security forces and private armed forces. This is entirely obstructing their exit. No, it is impossible, absolutely not. That is my right. Why should I be deprived of my protective power? I cannot accept it. Someone exclaimed. He smashed the items in front of him in frustration. Although others may not share the same level of enthusiasm. However, their faces remained pale and very somber, with some displaying ferocious expressions and fierce glares in their eyes. It was evident that they harbored lethal intentions. For them, the power of protection is essential and serves as the foundation of their stability. They have no intention of surrendering to Raymond, making it completely unlikely for them to be obedient. This Baron Raymond appears to be courting death. Baron Codal, what do you propose we do next? It seems impossible to comply with his request, correct? Someone expressed their frustration with a curse, then turned to look in a specific direction. A well-dressed, neatly groomed man with blonde hair, who appeared overweight, sat there with a calm demeanor. He remained silent throughout. I am not angry at all, and it does not matter at all. Follow his instructions. Certainly, keep in mind that they have now aligned with him. As per the will of the Lord, how can we, the nobles of the territory, refuse to accept it? Baron Codal stated casually. Are you suggesting we follow his instructions, Baron Codal? Is that even feasible? Upon hearing his words, their expressions changed instantly. This is completely unfeasible. Are you requesting that we disband our guard force? No, I recommend following his instructions. It's simple. Baron Codal smiled and spoke calmly. It is currently a cold wave in February. It is not feasible for us to leave this place and reside under someone else's roof, therefore, we can only proceed with this option. However, within a month at most, the cold wave will conclude in February, and within a month and a half at most, early spring will begin. By that time, we can depart from here. After a pause, he narrowed his eyes and frowned. It is simply a barren area. He holds the same status as we do. He cannot control us yet. Allow this month to pass. By the time we leave here, it is all over. Upon the release of this statement, everyone couldn't help but laugh. That's correct, that is merely for survival. They are esteemed aristocrats. How could they align themselves with a mere baron? This is completely unfeasible. As soon as winter concludes, they will certainly depart. At that time, their fulfilling life will return once more. Everything will remain unchanged. But he actually dares to treat us this way, should we simply overlook it? Someone suddenly remarked, their tone tinged with coldness, resentment, and anger. What actions can we take? The other person shook his head in irritation and stated. This individual's strength is significantly powerful, particularly when considering those monsters, which are undoubtedly level 5 monsters. With such immense strength, even if we worked together, we would still be no match. It is unavoidable. But is this the conclusion? Are we really going to allow him to leave in this manner? Unthinkable. The man in front expressed his thoughts, albeit somewhat reluctantly. His expression was fierce. He found himself gazing once more at the composed Baron Codal, imploring, Baron Codal, please speak. I am confident that you have solution. You are the most knowledgeable among us. As this statement was made, everyone appeared to connect with it, nodding in agreement and engaging in conversation. That is correct, Baron Codal. Please inform me of the actions we can take. He is humiliating and provoking us through his actions. If I does not return with revenge, I cannot accept it. Baron Codal, let us approach your father-in-law, Earl Hill, and request his assistance in delivering a firm warning. The Earl's influence would certainly enhance our position. Indeed, let's approach Lord Hill together. We seek his assistance in avenging ourselves and returning. But Baron Codal simply smiled, then shook his head and said, there is no need to burden Earl Hill with such a trivial issue. Moreover, is this merely a warning and a lesson? Are you content with this? This is insufficient for him. Upon hearing this, everyone was momentarily stunned, and then one person quickly expressed surprise and asked, Baron Kodal, do you have any suggestions? Please share them quickly. It is very straightforward. After we leave here, make sure to publicize this matter, including the specific situation and their strengths, Baron Kodal stated with a smile. There was a touch of sarcasm and cruelty in his eyes as he spoke coldly. Is it possible for a mere baron to possess such significant level 5 combat power? Doesn't this seem unusual and concerning? He could potentially be a spy from another country, but I cannot confirm that. Even if that is not the case, his power will still pose a significant threat to other nobles in the surrounding area. There will inevitably be someone to teach him a lesson on our behalf. Upon hearing this, everyone's expression shifted to one of mild excitement. Why is he so powerful? There must be something amiss. Perhaps he is indeed a spy for other countries. This is certainly a possibility. In this situation, it is likely that someone will kill him. However, Baron Kodal has not yet completed his remarks. Moreover, it is widely understood what is happening on the other side of the border. The defense line between Reims City and the Crates Mountains has nearly been breached. The Thunder Tiger Legion station there has incurred significant losses, resulting in a high number of casualties. There will be only two options, to retreat and relinquish the territory, or to recruit troops to support the border. When he said this, he curled his lips, sneered, and said, You mentioned that we should collaborate to find a way to get them to the border front. What will happen if this occurs? Level 5. Even at level 6, you will still face significant risks and may not survive. Isn't that as sufficient? Upon this announcement, everyone began to cheer enthusiastically. Indeed, Baron Kodal, you are correct. Deploy them to the frontline battlefield. Allow them to face their fate there. It is entirely Baron Raymond's fault. This is a lesson he have to learn. I have a solution for this. I am an acquaintance of Viscount Will in this region. He possesses excellent energy and is capable of accomplishing this. I am also willing to try. I am acquainted with Viscount Oland of the Oland family. If he is willing to assist, there should be no issue. However, it will necessitate contributions from all parties, which will certainly incur some costs. No problem, I will pay you 300 gold coins. I will pay 500. The magic core should be acceptable, correct? I still possess some magic cores here. I give one level 4 magic core. In an instant, they all became enthusiastic and started to share their opinions, discussing methods of revenge and scheming. It is as if they have seen it on the same day that Raymond and the others lost their lives on the frontier battlefield at the border. But they are unaware of it. At that moment, a group of individuals had been quietly hiding on the roof of their house for an extended period. Nig Sheen and the others. Hearing their cheers and the intense discussion of various revenge methods, Niggs and Sheen appeared unfazed. A predatory glint in their eyes. These individuals audaciously conspire against the Lord, you will pay for this? Nig stated in a cold tone. He then signaled to the others at the base of the house, and they all began to act in unison. The individuals speaking in this house are the minor knights, merchants, and nobles who hold the privilege to speak, while outside the manor other vassals are present. Those private armed escorts are already here. Please proceed with the task. The following moment, Niggs quietly created an opening at the top of the house, then aimed his bow and arrow at the gap from a distance, fixing his sight on a specific figure within it. His expression grew increasingly cold. He flicked his finger and instantaneously shot the arrow while speaking coldly. Release. Almost instantly, as if a watermelon had burst, the head of Baron Kodal, who wore a sneer and appeared to have mastered everything, was struck and killed by an arrow. Simultaneously. Boom. The door to the house was forcibly opened by another individual. This left everyone in the house feeling numb and pale. Is Baron Kodal deceased? Were all the actions and statements they made uncovered? It is over. It is finished now. The Templar marksman and Templar archer stepped forward, bows and arrows in hand. Sheen looked around quickly, then raised his hand to shoot an arrow once more, hitting the target twice. Directly aim at the heads of the two individuals who expressed the most joy. Such a scene ultimately drove them to madness. Some individuals shouted hysterically, exclaiming, "We are nobles, you cannot." Before he finished speaking, another arrow struck, hitting his head with no suspense. This harsh and merciless reality ultimately broke down the psychological defenses of others. They all dropped to their knees, tears and mucus on their faces, urgently pleading for mercy. Please don't kill me, I don't want to die. I have gold. I give 400 gold coins. I can purchase my life with money. Please, do not kill me. Everyone is feeling quite fearful. Asphyxia. Fear. Despair. They were previously arrogant and condescending while discussing revenge, but now they appear miserable, humble, and absurd. In comparison, they resemble a complete clown. However, no one acknowledged them. Do it. Sheen raised his hand and stated calmly. In the following moments, over a dozen bows and arrows were released, resulting in numerous additional bloody corpses within the blood-soaked premises. Then someone inquired. Exia, would you like to go outside and take a look? The individuals who perished in this house included various barons, knights, merchants, and minor nobles. However, there were others outside as well. There are at least 300 private armed guards associated with this house and estate. Given that there has been an escalation in violence, it is must to consolidate all actions into a single coordinated effort. It should not be necessary. Sheen continued to shake his head. Niggs and the others can see it outside. Master Owens and the others are also present. It's just some waste, it cannot escape. As anticipated, it requires only a few minutes. Niggs entered with an associate. Said calmly, everyone outside has been taking care. They are all dead. No one has escaped. Please check thoroughly to ensure that you have not overlooked anyone. Additionally, these individuals are likely to have some wealth and family assets concealed within this manor. Locate them and present them to the Lord. These are our trophies, Sheen stated. Then they all became busy again. While their movement was minimal, it was not entirely known to anyone. In another manor house nearby the massacre. Through the snowy window and the cold wind, Master Chris quietly observed them, then suddenly sighed deeply. Baron Kodal and the others should have completely dead. Even the Griffin Legion has been deployed. They cannot survive at all. Isn't this normal? The private arms ban law. Isn't this intended for them? I believe those individuals had ulterior motives from the start. I won't allow them to live. Kona said with a composed expression. That's true, Master Chris replied with a shrug and a smile. I will disband our escort tomorrow. This battle is quite intimidating. I do not want to be like Baron Kodal and the others. Kona also acknowledged that they have their own private armed guards, otherwise, the two of them would not be able to assist the hundreds of refugees individuals fleeing over such a long distance. Such a lengthy duration. Regarding the disbanding of them, it is inconsequential. As long as they participate sincerely, this is acceptable and not a significant issue. Early the next morning, the Blaine family castle revealed a dazzling array of gleaming treasure boxes in front, leaving Raymond a bit astonished and speechless once again. There are actually many. How many are there? I took someone's life last night, that certainly does not erase their plan. However, the outcome of this house raid exceeded his expectations. Several large boxes contain various items. Lord, there are a total of 2,341 gold coins, 71,833 silver coins, and approximately 5 to 6 million copper coins. Additionally, there is a martial arts secret book, 3 combat skill secret books, a level 5 magic core, and a level 4 magic core. There are 6 cores, 31 level 3 magic cores, 55 level 2 magic cores, and 143 level 1 magic cores, Niggs explained. Wow, there are so many. Raymond was utterly astonished. There are indeed numerous. We confirmed it twice, and there were no issues. Niggs nodded. Raymond also grew somewhat silent. He sighed, as expected of a blood-sucking noble, they are indeed quite wealthy. Yes. Matt German on the side also nodded and then said. But ultimately, they no longer possess a fief. These should encompass all their savings, and there are numerous individuals involved, exceeding 10. It is therefore expected to discover such a large quantity of items. Additionally, this situation is now more economical for us. With these resources, there should be no issues regarding city construction, food consumption, and so forth. After spring begins. When converted, this amounts to nearly 3,000 gold coins, that excessive. I have never encountered so many gold coins in my life. These moths are truly like vampires. Indeed, this is truly a vampire. Raymond nodded in agreement and then inquired again, Uncle Matt, can these be exchanged for level 6 magic cores? Matt German was momentarily taken aback. If we calculate based on standard market prices, a level 6 magic core typically ranges from 7,000 to 8,000 gold coins. Even some lesser known and weaker level 6 magic cores from magic beasts should be valued at a minimum of 6,000. Raymond frowned slightly and spoke. Is it necessary for it to be so costly? Yes, Matt German nodded and stated. Raymond, you are also aware that the strength of those level 6 monsters surpasses that of the average level 6 professionals. However, the status of these level 6 professionals is essentially equivalent to that of an earl. There is nothing we can do about it. Upon hearing this, Raymond nodded in agreement. In the nobility system of the Principality of Lane, a level 4 professional is equivalent to a baron, a level 5 professional is equivalent to a viscount, a level 6 professional is equivalent to an earl, and a level 7 professional is equivalent to a marquise. Level 8 is essentially equivalent to the highest title held by a duke in the duchy. Although several thousand gold coins is a significant amount, it is comparatively not very much when measured against a larger count. Matt German smiled and said, "Don't worry, Lord Baron. With our current wealth, while it may be limited, a level 6 magic core should still be within our budget. Even if it is 2 pieces. Perhaps there is a possibility." Raymond was momentarily taken aback and expressed his surprise. "Why? Do we not have sufficient funds?" "No, we can sell products." Matt German replied. "Sell things?" Raymond asked in amazement. "That's correct," Matt German stated with a smile as he picked up the martial arts technique and combat skills from the box. The lowest level of these skill books is level 3, while the highest can reach level 5. Raymond, the value of the level 5 books is significant. If you are fortunate, you may be able to sell them for over 1,500 gold coins. Including these 4 books, we might be able to sell them for 2,000. Additionally, there are these magic cores. The market price of level 5 magic cores is approximately 800 gold coins or more, while the market price of level 4 magic cores is just above 100 gold coins. If you sell them all, you should be able to obtain 1,300 to 1,400 additional gold coins. These items alone should convert into at least 7,000 to 8,000 gold coins, and Greystone Village still has 400 to 500 of our own coins. If you add a purple gold coin, that's more than 10,000. Upon hearing this, Raymond entered a trance. More than 10,000. He narrowed his eyes and calculated the numbers himself. Ultimately, he discovered that something was indeed achievable. If all were sold, they could potentially earn more than 10,000 gold. Based on the average price of a level 6 magic core at 7,000 gold coins, the two amounts are somewhat incongruous. There should be no issue whatsoever. Besides, Matt German spoke again suddenly. "Lord Baron, please remember that we have additional items for sale." Raymond was momentarily taken aback and quickly asked, "What?" "It's those monster beast corpses." Matt German smiled and explained. While the magic core is the most valuable component of a monster, a complete corpse, excluding the magic core, holds even greater value than the magic core alone. Raymond was once again taken aback, but then his eyes brightened, and he became enthusiastic. "Uncle Matt, you mean?" "Yes, it appears you have considered this," Matt German stated with a smile. "The remains of the 2 fiery tigers and the shadow black snake king that we previously retrieved, despite their grim appearance, can still be sold for a profit. So, 4,000. 5,000. We won't know until we sell them all, but there should be at least this much. In this case, the current amount of gold coins we possess should exceed 15,000. Raymond was astonished. Some of his eyes flickered, and his breathing quickened. You should understand that, to him, these are not gold coins but rather 2 living, 3rd-level enhanced soldiers royal griffins. If he can successfully increase his troops to 3 royal griffins, it must be said that he is invincible below level 7, and he is not overly intimidated above level 7. He is level 6, and his strength surpasses that of the royal griffins. As long as the opponent is not overly strong, it is unlikely to be overpowered in a 4-on-1 scenario. Upon considering this, he promptly reached a decision. Then sell it. Sell all of it. Obtaining 2 level 6 magic cores will yield the optimal outcome. This is his preference. Uncle Matt, you are responsible for making these arrangements. If feasible, please sell them all at your earliest convenience. I want to see the magic core as soon as possible. Raymond stated. Yes, Lord Baron. However, I have an additional suggestion. What suggestion? Raymond asked. Raymond, do you recall the wind wolves in the Asuka Mountains? Matt German whispered. Upon hearing this, Raymond was momentarily taken aback. He then suddenly felt a sense of complexity. He recalled the wind wolves in the Asuka Mountains, which had been responsible for the deaths of his biological father and brother. Perhaps it is due to a lack of rapport or previous interaction with them. It is inherently unlikely that he possesses such profound feelings for that strange father and brother. Those creatures killed my father and brother. He should address this matter promptly. He then looked at Matt German, lowered his head, and spoke. Apologies, Uncle Matt, I was remiss in this matter. I must seek revenge for them. Raymond, I do not intend to place blame on you, Matt German stated with a smile. However, for us, this presents an opportunity to achieve two objectives simultaneously. The number of those ferocious wolves is substantial, exceeding 100 and nearly reaching 200. Additionally, they have a level 5 Wolf King and several level 4 elite storm wolves. We should eliminate them and retrieve their bodies and magic cores. These can also be sold for a significant amount of money. More importantly, there is a substantial treasure hidden in the Asuka mountain range. What? A big treasure? Raymond exclaimed in surprise. Iron ore vein. Is that an iron ore vein? Suddenly, Raymond's eyes widened in surprise. It is, in fact, a mineral vein. This item is truly a valuable asset. In this world, both food and weapons represent violence. Iron ore has consistently been a critical material for producing only high-quality standard weapons. It is truly invaluable. Yes, it is indeed an iron ore vein, Matt German sighed softly. Raymond, your father and I went there specifically for this iron mine. We initially intended to mine it discreetly and maximize our earnings, but we did not anticipate encountering those ferocious wolves, which led to an unfortunate accident. He then looked at Raymond and said earnestly, "You should recognize that this issue holds significant importance. Although I am not aware of the scale of that iron mine, it undoubtedly holds significant value, regardless of its size. Next, we in Greystone Village require a source of income. The concentrated iron mine has the potential to achieve this. We require additional and more powerful magic cores, so I believe we should investigate it. Furthermore, it is imperative that we do so promptly, as winter provides the safest and least conspicuous conditions. Then let's proceed immediately." Raymond ceased further conversation. He nodded and said, "Niggs, go gather the troops now. We require 100 Templar Halberdiers, 10 Templar Marksmen, and for the Griffin, allow the 3 of them to join us. Keep the rest as a precaution." "Yes, my lord, I will go now," Niggs said as he turned and left. Matt German laughed at this moment and remarked, "Raymond, if your father could see you now, he would be very happy and proud." Ha ha ha. "Yes, I believe so," Raymond nodded. There were also some complex emotions in his heart. After some time, the army was assembled and proceeded directly to the Asuka mountain range in the eastern part of the territory. The Asuka Mountains is simply a hill. There are numerous hills in the entire northern region, which explains the presence of a concentrated iron mine located here. And it has not been discovered by anyone else yet. As they approached, he noticed that at the base of the mountain in the opposite direction of the Asuka mountain range, there were some people present. No, to be more precise, there should be a small team of over 100 people. They have arrived here, all equipped with uniform armor and mounts. Beneath them was a formidable creature, predominantly brown and black, featuring a single horn on its forehead, resembling a horse. This is the level 2 monster, brown wildebeest. Although it is classified as a level 2 monster, it has surprisingly become a standard mount for many. And at this time, on the backs of these level 2 monster brown wildebeests, they are all authentic low-level knights with level 2 strength. This is essentially a 2+2 combination. Once a fight commences, it is likely that few individuals below level 3 will be able to defeat them. More importantly, they have an army that can infinitely enhance and amplify individual strength. Their true power will only continue to grow. This is indeed a standard army. They are highly powerful and should also be a regular soldier with a name. I am unsure of their origin and the reason for their presence here. In addition, at this time, they were at the forefront. There are several prominent individuals and influential figures who clearly appear to be leaders. Among these individuals, there may be 2 magicians and approximately 4 warriors, possibly knights or representatives of another rare profession. This brings the total to 6 people. However, their mounts are clearly too ostentatious. Some are large creatures shrouded in darkness that resemble dire wolves. This is a level 4 monster, the Shadow Wolf. There is a large golden bird adorned in green and yellow, radiating strong magical energy. This is a level 4 monster, Blue Thunderbird. The large tiger, enveloped in red and engulfed in flames, is a familiar sight to Raymond and his companions. It is a level 5 monster Fire Tiger. Additionally, there are level 3 monsters present, the Earth-Rolling Wolf, Red-Wind Fox, and Thunder-Toothed Giant Snail King. Each of them has a different mount, however, there are also some noticeable differences. The individual whose mount is the Fiery Tiger. His strength is undoubtedly the most formidable. The 2 individuals with mounts named Shadow Wolf and Blue Thunderbird should possess lesser strength. Additionally, there are 3 other individuals with level 3 Magic Beast mounts. Luther, is the iron ore you mentioned here? Are you certain? Suddenly, someone spoke. It's the old man riding the shadow wolf. This should be an image. He is clothed in large yet luxurious mage robes. His long golden hair is billowing in the wind, illuminated by a subtle azure glow. This is a water magician, and it should be level 5. Lord Brayton, indeed, this is it. When I left here previously, I had already marked it, just like this. Luther reply. Riding on a rolling wolf, he is a bald warrior who appears to be in his 40s or 50s. Upon hearing this, he nodded respectfully and observed him leaning against a large tree in the snow, erasing a faint mark. Not bad, well done. Lord Brayton stated arrogantly. If the intel is accurate and it is indeed a vein of iron ore, Luther, you have made a significant contribution. Then anticipate the reward from the Earl. Thank you, Lord Brayton. Thank you. Do not worry, I can assure you that it is indeed a vein of iron ore. I saw it with my own eyes and located the site. I can't be mistaken. Luther stated confidently. Master Brayton snorted and stated. Refrain from making frivolous comments. Where is the location? Just go and stop delaying us. Someone interjected. It was the individual riding the fiery tiger. He was wearing heavy armor that shimmered and pulsated with magical energy. It was truly remarkable and impressive. This armor has a notable background and is undoubtedly a valuable item. He appears to be nearly 60 or 70 years old, with white hair, yet he does not exhibit any signs of senility typical of older individuals. Instead, he is energetic and possesses a strong sense of oppression. And his name? It is referred to as Marku. A highly formidable level 6 heaven warrior. In addition to this, he holds another significant position as one of the leading figures in the northern region, serving as a key advisor to Earl Gurdon. Earl rank is subordinate only to that of a duke and marquis. This can certainly be considered the highest level of their Principality of Lane. In the entire northern region, there are no more than a dozen nobles of this level at most. Becoming a key subordinate and trusted advisor under their command demonstrates significant power, both in terms of his personal strength and his background and identity. This concept is worth contemplating. These individuals are all from Hansol City. All of them originate from the authority of the Lord and ruler of Hansol City, Earl Gurdon. Hansol City is quite distant, requiring a minimum travel time of 10 days. Additionally, this nearby area is outside the jurisdiction of Count Gurdon. However, it is owned by the Olander family. The Olander family is a prominent entity in the northern region. This family includes 2 earls, 6 viscounts, and numerous barons. One can envision this as a true behemoth and giant. Logically, to avoid suspicion, there was no reason for anyone to be present here. However, many people came regardless, including members of the regular army. It is clear that there is only one reason. That is the vein of iron ore. Not only does Matt German have knowledge of this, but everyone else is also aware of it. It appears that Luther, the bald warrior, has uncovered it as well. At that moment, Luther quickly bowed his head and said respectfully, Yes, Lord Brayton. I will take you there now. The iron ore vein is located in this mountain. Qui. A loud roar echoed in the sky, and a large bird, adorned in green and white and standing half the height of a man, rapidly ascended into the air. Then the arm of the man with short gray hair, dressed as a hunter with a bow, was riding on the blue thunderbird. Q. After the large black and white bird whimpered for a while, the expression of the man with short gray hair changed slightly. What occurred, Unan? Brayton inquired. Lord Brayton, there appears to be a minor issue. Amon nodded and responded quickly. There is also a group of individuals at the base on the other side of the mountain. They should be preparing to enter the mountain, and there are several people. They should be the same as us. Over 100 of them. Upon hearing this, everyone's expression shifted. The elderly, white-haired mage riding the red wind fox appeared somewhat anxious. He said promptly. What, Amon, are you certain? More than 100 people. This is the cold wave of February and winter. Ordinary level 1 trainees are unable to manage it effectively. Are you indicating that it is also an army of level 2 professionals? What do you mean? We were identified by individuals from the Olander family. Why are all the soldiers behind them at level 2? It is because February is the coldest season. As trainee level 1 professionals, they find it intolerable. Level 1 is intended solely for trainees. If it is a warrior, it lacks martial chi entirely. A minimum requirement of a level 2 low-level warrior is necessary to cultivate martial art chi. The same applies to other professional systems. The issue is that this level 2 army, comprising more than 100 members, is not readily accessible to an ordinary noble. The most probable contender is, undoubtedly, the dominant overlord in this region, the Olander family. If it is not them, it must be a highly influential Viscount. Is it truly due to the discovery of their whereabouts? Refrain from asking me such questions, Klaus. Amon looked at him and spoke calmly. I can confirm with certainty that it is a team of more than 100 people, and my pet will not be mistaken. But who are they? I am unsure. And their destination is the mountains. So, perhaps they are also heading to the iron mine. Hearing this, everyone's face turned ugly. Why did they come here with such rush? Is it solely for the iron ore vein? What if it was taken by someone else beforehand? This is not going to happen. Luther, are you certain that you are the only one aware of this iron ore vein? Brayton inquired as he directed his gaze toward Luther. However, the latter shook his head and responded promptly. Lord Brayton, in fact, there was another group of individuals who discovered the iron ore vein before me. I only became aware of this after monitoring their activities. After a brief pause, I noted, those were 2 level 4 high-ranking knights, alongside some low-level warriors. However, I had already employed a tactic to draw a group of Gale Force wolves to attack them. Lord Brayton, the strength of those Gale Wolf packs is significant, as their Gale Wind Wolf King has attained level 5 strength. Additionally, there are numerous other wolf packs, totaling over 100. I believe they are all dead, Luther stated. Brayton remained silent. The arrogant Master Brayton exclaimed angrily, all dead. Then where did these people come from? Why didn't you mention such an important fact earlier? Do you want to die, Luther? I apologize, Master Brayton. I did inform the Earl about this, but he appeared to dismiss it as insignificant, so? Luther smiled bitterly. What do you mean, you are using the Earl to suppress me? Brayton asked, his anger intensifying. You will know what to do, simply go and take a look. As long as Aman's black-striped birds are present, they will not be able to locate us. But Lord Brayton, Klaus asked, what if that is truly a member of the Olander family? Are you scared, Klaus? If you are afraid, step back. You are not needed here. Brayton stated promptly. Klaus's face turned blue and purple. However, he still did not dare to refute or express anger. No matter what, since we are all here, this iron mine is certainly ours. No one can take it away. And if it's the Olander family, if they want to die, let them die. Do you understand? Brayton said coldly, filled with murderous intent. Yes, my lord. Everyone exchanged glances, responding with resigned smiles of agreement. Ultimately, Lord Brayton is the leader of their group and holds the position of the strongest among them, a distinguished level 6. Consequently, once the other party makes any decision, there is little we can do to intervene, as their whereabouts and existence have already been revealed. What can be compared to the Griffin family, or even the Royal Griffin, which is a level 3 reinforced unit? Only the level 4 black-striped bird. That is not comparable at all. What are you referring to, Alderson? There are other people present here as well. Raymond was somewhat surprised to receive the information about Alderson. Yes, my lord, Alderson replied with a nod. I just observed a small figure in the sky observing us, so I discreetly followed it to investigate. Subsequently, I discovered a group of individuals located at the base of the mountain on the other side. Their objective. It likely pertains to this mountain. Upon hearing this, Raymond narrowed his eyes. His eyes briefly glimmered. They observing us. For reasons of caution, he did not allow Alderson, Owens, Merck, and the other members of the Griffin to operate together with their large force. For them, long-distance flights are routine, allowing them to operate as scouts by observing and gathering information at any time. The heights of the sky are exceptionally vast. If they ascend just a bit higher, they can disappear entirely, undetected. But he didn't expect that they would actually discover. It is still winter with a cold wave in February. It is so cold at this time. He inquired promptly. Alderson, how many individuals are present? What is their strength? Lord, there should be a total of 126 of them, with 120 at level 2. However, they resemble an army and consist entirely of regular troops. The other 6 individuals resemble their leaders, including 1 level 6, 2 level 5s, and 3 level 4s, Alderson stated calmly. His remarks astonished everyone. Matt German's expression changed significantly, and he inquired rapidly. Mr. Alderson, is it truly level 6? Are you certain? That is correct, it is indeed level 6. The strength and aura surrounding him convey a slight sense of danger, indicating he is likely of comparable strength to me. Alderson stated unequivocally. Upon hearing this, Matt German suddenly smiled bitterly and said, "Raymond, we're in trouble now. I'm afraid the iron ore mine has been discovered by others. And they are actually the Army and Level 6 experts. Are they members of the Olander family?" "If that is the case, it would be significant," Raymond said, momentarily stunned, before asking, "Uncle Matt, what are the Olanders?" The Olander family is one of the most prominent noble families in the northern region of the Principality of Lane. At the same time, they are also the private rulers of our region, replied Matt German. Rulers. Raymond was even more surprised. Yes, Matt German nodded and clarified. In our Principality of Lane, while the royal family holds a position of prominence, the more accurate depiction is that the major noble families and significant factions exert control over their respective domains, often operating independently of each other. For instance, in the northern region alone, there are approximately a dozen counts and nobles, all of whom wield considerable power and possess extensive spheres of influence. At the same time, they covertly manage numerous small fiefdoms, including barons and viscounts. The private rulers of our region are the Olander family, which is a large and intimidating family, as it includes 2 count nobles. In addition, they have 6 viscounts, numerous barons, knights, and nobles. Upon hearing this, 3 significant words came to Raymond's mind. That is the power of the emperor. Is this situation merely the result of the mountains being high and the emperor being distant? A proper local emperor. However, he inquired once more. "Uncle Matt, why is it them? Is it because of that level 6? "That's correct," Matt German confirmed, nodding with bright eyes. "In our area, and indeed across the entire northern region, there are very few nobles and family forces with level 6 professionals." He added, "Especially here. They are most likely the only ones." After a pause, he resumed with a serious expression, "Raymond, if it is truly them, we will be in significant trouble. The Olander family holds significant power. I am concerned that offending them may not be in our best interest." However, Raymond simply smiled and responded calmly, "Trouble. Uncle Matt, if you handle them, won't it be no trouble anymore? Get rid of them." Matt German was taken aback for a moment and was about to continue speaking when Raymond interrupted him. "Uncle Matt, Alderson indicated that they have located us, and there is a strong possibility that they remain unaware of Alderson, Owen's smirk. Therefore, if their primary interest is indeed the iron ore vein, Uncle Matt, you would do this." Matt German was momentarily stunned, then smiled bitterly. "Yes, what could be done? They must all have been killed. And we need to remove the grass and roots. In this way, wouldn't it be possible to monopolize the iron ore vein? As the primary material for the standard weapons of elite troops, the value of this iron ore vein is truly invaluable. Typically, even a small-scale iron ore vein is worth at least tens of thousands of gold coins. If you are fortunate, medium-sized, large, extra large. By that time, not only tens of thousands but even hundreds of thousands of gold coins may be attainable. Who would forfeit such a substantial piece of meat? Impossible. From the moment they found each other, their fate was sealed. They must engage in a confrontation. And it is highly probable that one could be killed." Ha ha ha. At this moment, Raymond laughed and patted Matt German on the shoulder. "Uncle Matt, relax and try not to be so stressed. It doesn't matter who they are, you need to understand that we are no longer the people we used to be. We are not the weak individuals we once were. We are strong now, aren't we?" Furthermore, Raymond smirked and said with disdain, "It's only a level 6 individual, just one. Wouldn't it be preferable to eliminate him? Alderson, am I correct?" "That is correct," Alderson replied promptly, stating without any doubt, "Lord, please entrust him to me, and I will handle the situation." Although they are all level 6 and he is a griffin from the Temple Castle, in this world, he is genuinely considered a level 6 monster. At the same level, the magic beast is the most powerful, surpassing all other species. Therefore, even if it is at level 6, it does not concern him. "That's correct." Matt German also laughed. "They are no longer weak, he himself has now attained the status of a dignified level 5 Earth Knight. They possess significant power. Regardless of the individual. Anyone who attempts to obstruct them will face dire consequences. Let's proceed directly to the mine and address the issue on site. March." Raymond commanded assertively. "Yes. Great Lord. Eliminate them. Victory. Honor. And glory. We must win." Cheers erupted. Everyone proceeded to the depths of the Asuka Mountains and soon arrived. This location is situated in the center of a stream within the Asuka Mountains. The water here is sufficiently deep to reach the waist. From a distance, everything appears normal. This is the location of the iron ore vein. Underwater? Raymond inquired. Indeed, Lord Baron, it is underwater. Matt German acknowledged, then proceeded to descend along the edge of the stream, where he observed him retrieving a sizable piece of ore from the streambed. The shell is coated with a layer of soil, although it is quite thin. The material is clearly identified as fine iron, specifically high-quality refined iron with exceptional purity. This is, in fact, the iron ore vein. Uncle Matt, could you provide me with the approximate size and reserves of this mine? Raymond inquired eagerly. He has long recognized the value of this iron ore vein. He can earn a minimum of tens of thousands of gold coins if he can access a medium-sized or large-sized vein. A level 6 magic core is estimated to be valued at 7,000 to 8,000 gold coins, while the market price of a level 7 magic core is likely around 100,000 gold coins. 6 figures. He may be able to utilize this source of refined iron ore to modify and recruit his first level 4 ordinary soldier, the Templar Swordsman. This is certainly an excellent opportunity. Gold coins hold intrinsic value regardless of their quantity, and he has little interest in them. However, if it can be transformed into combat power, its nature will change significantly. As long as the Templar monks emerge, the presence of even a single vein of iron ore, let alone 10 or 100, is inconsequential. He can retrieve it with ease. Only through strength can one be deemed worthy of possessing anything else. Otherwise, it is simply unrefined. Lamb to the slaughter. I'm afraid not, Lord, Matt German replied, shaking his head. This iron ore vein is almost entirely buried in this stream. We can only terminate this stream when the appropriate time arrives, and subsequently seek professionals to determine the specific size of this vein. However. But what? Raymond inquired. I have previously encountered information about exploring mineral veins. Although I am uncertain, I believe the scale of this mine is not that of a small mine, it appears to be at least medium-sized. Matt German's eyes flashed. As soon as he made this statement, Raymond could not help but laugh. Ha 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 ha. Lord, it appears they are approaching. At that moment, Nix's voice interrupted, causing the expressions of Raymond and Matt German to darken. But it is finally here. I thought they would endure it for a while, Raymond murmured. Then he looked in the direction where Niggs and the others were focused. He observed that a breakthrough occurred with the elevated terrain. Standing on it, one could not only survey them from a high vantage point but also assess them from a combat and military perspective. That is certainly a beneficial position as well. If you can use magic to attack from a distance, it would provide a significant advantage. Considering this, Matt German promptly stated. Raymond, we cannot allow them to stay up there, they have a magician. Raymond also nodded, however, instead of taking immediate action, he waited quietly. Shortly thereafter, the deep sound of marching was heard, indicating the presence of a large number of troops. After approximately 1 or 2 minutes, he observed a significant number of cavalry on the hillside and discerned signs of Brayton and the others. However, upon their arrival, they quickly realized that something was amiss. Is this truly a member of the Olander family? Why do I not recognize any of them? Additionally, the strength of these robust soldiers is remarkable. Are they still elite? Brayton murmured, as an elderly man of his age. He certainly has impressions of numerous individuals in the Oland family, including many strong men and several armies, and he is even acquainted with some of them. However, what is the situation now? There is an issue, he is not acquainted with any of these individuals. Even the formidable soldiers before me, who initially appeared highly elite, had never seen it either. However, at this time, the Luther behind him suddenly widened his pupils and stared at Matt German in shock. He. Impossible, he is actually not dead. Hearing to this, Chomeku paused, his eyes flashing. Luther, are you familiar with him? Luther stopped. He smiled bitterly. Lord Brayton, one of the 2 level 4 senior knights I mentioned earlier, is him? I can't believe he actually ran away. I apologize, this is my fault. I'm sorry. Brayton acknowledged this with a nod. Then he did not say anything. Instead, they began to carefully observe Raymond's lineup and strength. At that moment, they were observing Raymond, who, along with the others, was also watching them. These individuals appear quite majestic. Each of them is mounted, are they all cavalry? Raymond remarked. The opposing force consists of cavalry, specifically the Templar Halberdiers. When the numbers are approximately equal, it must be their disadvantage. However, it is not significant. In the event of a genuine conflict, it would certainly not be the level 2 cannon fodder that could determine the outcome. In a battle of this magnitude, their role would effectively be limited to that of cannon fodder. However, Matt German was also observing Brayton with a frown, as if he had contemplated an idea. "Uncle Matt, do you know him? Is he a member of the Olander family?" Raymond inquired.